Welcome back to the Olga S. Pérez Show. I'm your host, Olga. How you doing? Yeah, how you doing? Louder with Crowder, baby. Oh, wow. How many times have I been talking about this lately? How many times? Especially last week, right? I was telling you guys, oh man, remember that part where I said, this is why many times in my life I had chances to sell out and I didn't. And I've suffered. I still, you feel me? You feel me? And I'm like, gotta tell you, I'm proud of Crowder. Now, of course, I've seen all kinds of stuff running around, Twitter, whatnot. And God, I got a lot to say. We're going to be sharing part of that video, or we're going to go through the video completely. And I'll give you my perspective. Here we go. The Olga S. Pérez Show, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. And the vote is in. So you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm thinking I'm going to have to do part of this live at Rumble to really, really get raw, real, uncensored, or at least not as censored. Or you know what? Also, because I don't want to give YouTube, the boob tube, all that power. Know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see. I'll keep it PG. Because remember, I said up for 2 weeks now. I'm sticking with let's see if I tone it down. Hold my tongue. Now, and then, so, I'll take a quick break and we'll come back on YT and I'll do a reaction video. It seems like the vote is in. I'll be screen sharing that vote as well, just so you guys know that you voted. And also, thank you already. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Your comments are my fuel. Keep them coming. I do read them. I will respond. If you have a message in specific that you want me to read, make sure to super chat it so I can see the colors. They pop up and I'll screen share it. You know it. And yeah, share this content. That is honestly the most important thing. And thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you to all the members, to all the local members. Consider becoming a member if you haven't already. Not consider. Do it. Yeah, because I'm here for you. And oh my God. I'll tell you everything about it. But before I even get started, viewers' discretion advised. And if you're listening, adult content ahead. Yeah, baby. God, I love it when people stand up. And I love the fact that I believe I mentioned a few things. I don't know which video I did, but I know I mentioned Crowder. And I remember also specifically saying, for the most part, I think he's like legit. He's not a grifter. But I also did say, but, I get it. You're making a living, you have a family, or you know. But I was like, nah. Especially right before Christmas, right when he was like, hey, I don't know where I'm going. What's happening? Here, guys, sign up to the mubclubforever.com. And I'm like, good for him, right? I'm like, he doesn't need anybody. He can do it all on his own. But this video that he posted, I just love it because, he always wears that t-shirt, or most of the time, so he'll wear like fight like hell. I know he's all about George Washington, Canadian born, but basically raised here, or I guess I really don't know when he came over here, but, just like me, where I believe in freedom and I believe in the Constitution. And even if it's not perfect, nothing is. It's the best we've had in history. And that t-shirt that he wears where it says, fight like hell. You know what I mean? So before I even get started, let me make sure that we can hear each other. You can hear me. Hello. Yeah, it's funny. This is the only way that I'm like, they can hear me. How you doing today? How's the weather where you're at? How do you feel about this stuff? Of course, I can talk about all kinds of stuff, but I think we got so much to chew on this one. Can't wait to see you guys and your comments. Welcome. If it's your first time here, awesome to have you. If you've been here before, welcome back, my love. Who's here? Who's here? The Major. Welcome. Yeah, baby. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, is it? YouTube is probably being squirrely again. Yeah, look. Now with the Twitter files all come out, you know it's a fact that they're not pushing my stuff. You know I'm being shadow banned. These are facts. I mean, I have the facts because I have the back analytics, but even you guys have said, this doesn't make sense. Exactly. And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to join them before I beat them. And I know they're listening to this right now. So I'm sure they're like, yeah, good luck, sweet cheeks. But just like what Crowdo said in his video, which again, I'm going to you know what? I'm going to play it before going over. I'd much rather say hello to everybody here already. Make sure to smash that like button. Sometimes I see all these views and then I only got like a few likes and I'm like, wait, come on, just smash that like button. Maybe you guys are thinking, I'll do it later. Or maybe you're thinking, let me see if I really liked it today. I get it. You do you. Any way you help is powerful, no matter what. So let's see. Gregory Paul, what is happening, everybody? Hi, Olga. Hi, Gregory. Tanya, I saw some post you posted this morning and I was going to respond. Then I went to respond and it was gone. I was like, did you remove it? Or is it another example of how YT does their shenanigans? And I'm being nice when I say it that way. Morton, welcome back. Yeah, thumbs up, baby. Good afternoon, Tanya. So Tanya Gray goes, my first thought was, this is a confirmation not to settle exactly in quote. And I'd reach out as he suggested. Oh my God. He literally, I watched it live. Well, I don't know. What, did he do it live? Actually, did he actually do it live or did he just upload it? Let me see. Yeah, it wasn't live. At least it's not showing it on my end. But as he was going through it, as soon as he was like, email creators at louderwiththecrowder.com, I was on it. Send him an email. I also submitted to his website. And I had already signed up to, Mug Club Forever, but I still signed up to was it bigstopbigcon.com, right? And then I got MM. You know who MM is, right? He reached out and sent me an email. And he's like, you probably already saw this, but here, like, I thought about you. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome. Because you guys get me. You're listening to me. You don't just show up. And I mean, of course, if you enjoy what I put out there, that's awesome. But God, I knew it. And it's, oh God, again, I'm getting ahead of myself because he says so much in that video that I relate to and that I've said similar things. Like, I know everybody's out there, but when I say, I mean what I say when I say I'm not not your typical commentary channel, right? And then it's like, oh man. Okay, Tanya. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for knowing that. I'm so glad you saw that. And again, that's what your text was that I saw this morning once I launched that I was coming on. Once I posted it, and he wrote, I was hoping you talk about this today. And I'm like, oh my God. Gregory Paul, I love Crowder. Chilling in Wisconsin with the chilling emoji. Hey, thank you, the Major, really digging the hair. Yeah, I was like, so because looks like the vote is out and I'm going to be doing a reaction to Church for Tom McDonald, right? And I never do a reaction to a video I've ever seen or a song I've ever heard, nothing, right? So it's totally real, raw, and live, baby, live. And I was like, I wanted to wear all white. And then I was like, I don't know. I kept changing my mind. And same with like the look and the hair. So I wanted to have some kind of like old school classic. I don't know if it's coming through 60s, but I wanted to go light because I wanted the energy to be light. You feel me? So thank you. Tanya, it's all, let's see. It's all about control. Independence is the only way to keep content control. Yes. And thank you for your support, Tanya. Thank you for being a member. Crowder, and by the way, Tanya's also a locals member. And some of you also, I've been doing both, and that's freaking amazing. Thank you so much. Crowder is able to keep content, and quote, or kind of like dash, content control for himself. And he's weighing whether or not he wants to offer a platform for other content creators to keep their content free from control. It will be a huge... Oh my God. I barely touched the mouse and it went zoomed into the point that I'm like, where's the message? It will be a huge risk for him, but he believes the world needs it. I agree. I'm with him 100%. And he's disappointed and hurt. It's not already in the industry. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, and I know you guys have heard me talk about, like, there was a minute they were like, first of all, I didn't even know Tim Pool or Cast, whatever, was a thing. Never knew he existed until like 2020, right? When we're all like locked down. And then again, it also popped in my feed. I must have watched something else, or I don't know, or it's the YouTube that it's like, oh, here. And so I watched just to learn, to get, like, what are people watching? Why does this guy have so many subscribers? Like, what's his thing? What's his background? You know, and I really did my research about the guy, and then I listened. And I specifically kept listening because I like the guy, Luke, I think it's Rakowski, something like that. You know me, I don't pronounce shit right. I do try, though. I do try. And then it just slowly, there was little tidbits, and I'm like, and then it just kind of got repetitive, and like the left. And I'm like, oh my God. Although he's like, I'm not to the right. I'm like center, maybe leaning more to the right. I'm a liberal, whatever. And I'm like, again, I don't care what your politics are. I care about your character. And sure enough, the character kept coming through in a way that I'm like, ooh, a lot of different opinions. And so to me, I get it. They get to a point. I mean, if you haven't already had it all and then lost it all, or if you've never had a minute and then all of a sudden you get that chance, I understand. Just like I don't want my content taken down. Just like I don't want people to censor me, right? YouTube, to be specific, correct? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to change my character over it. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys, which you know I am. And just like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself again with Crowder. Let me say hi to everybody else. MM! Yo! Did you just hear I mention you in your email? Yoga! Boom emoji, peace emoji, thumbs up. Yes. Great to see you. Glad that you could make it. Ole, Inzani Chakra, greetings, Norway in the house. Woo woo. Oh God, Gregory Paul's like, yeah, you're gonna cry, Olga, with the church one, right? The Tom McDonald Church. Church is a sermon. Oh, great. But guess what? I had a feeling. I made sure I had the box of tissues. Now, I don't know if it was you, Tanya Grace. Oh, no, it was another Tanya. I think it was another Tanya. Could have been you. I'm sorry. There's another Tanya around that made a comment. And it's because one of the options that I posted on the vote was NF. And, you know, guys, I'm going to do every song you've requested. It's just a matter of when. And I put the vote on you guys on when I'm going to do them. So, and I kind of mix it up. I get different artists. I put a new artist, especially because I saw that what's her name? Miley Cyrus is trending and whatnot. And I thought, hey, mix it up. And I was curious and like, why is it trending? And I want to give my perspective and my reaction to why is a song catching on. I mean, yeah, we know she's got a record deal and all this stuff. Like, yeah. Okay, Captain Obvious, right? Yeah. So Louder with Crowder. Hey, Rumble, if you are in Rumble, Tanya Gray. Good afternoon, Olga. Good afternoon on Rumble. Let's see how many other Rumbles are watching. Don't be shy, Rumble. Come and join us. Stick around. It will be an unforgettable day. I promise you that. And, I mean, if you haven't already subscribed and you're on Rumble, subscribe. YT, subscribe. Subscribe. Okay. Whew. So, let me screen share. And let's crack down. Let me break down my uncoding of Steven Crowder's latest post. I'm really proud of him. It's funny how people are just, again, it's almost like the Andrew Tate thing. People are just like jumping and like, didn't I say that analogy about the goldfish, right? It's like we're all a bunch of goldfish and like Twitter files, right? And then it's like somebody sprinkling for the fish to come up and gobble it up. It's like, I can't. Like, come on. Like, I want to see change. I want to see action. And of course, what perfect timing for Crowder to post this video where we're dealing with WEF. That's all kinds of shenanigans over there where nobody's really watching. People don't like it. They turned the comments off. I think it was Bill Gates that also turned his comments off. It's like, oh my God. Oh, hold on. Let me take a little sip of my little tea here. I want to make sure I'm calm. But then the party, I know, if I'm going to cry with the church reaction of Tom McDonald, I'm still going to show up like we're having a good time. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully. You guys are the best. All right. So let me just start playing, and I'm going to pause it as I feel the need to put my perspective.
So stopbigcon.com now exists to begin with. It's been a while. Either this has to stop, or
I agree.
I'm going to have to stop. Either this, what I'm about to discuss, has to stop, or I don't know. This may just not be for me anymore. So let me explain. Give me a few minutes of your time because context matters here. I ask that you don't skip ahead. It won't take very long. This has been a long time coming. This is a conversation that I've actively avoided, sidestepped, and I've hoped and prayed that it not be necessary behind the scenes for a long while, but that's no longer possible.
Okay,
so
first, straight out the gate, I love that he's telling you he's going to make it short. I feel from my gut that he's being real and honest in his best ability based on legalities. And I got a lot of respect for that. And I think he's holding it very well.
So if you've watched for the last decade, you know that I've always made it clear that we here at Mug Club are in the business of serving you, the viewer, you watching, listening right now. I've also made it clear that I wouldn't be in the business of attacking other conservatives, regardless of disagreements or personal issues. And I've always explained my logic was relatively simple. I believe that the world was better with more voices out there rather than less, regardless of minute differences, considering the magnitude.
He's always had his standards, his principles. That's what got me. I watched pretty much every one of his shows once I've discovered him. Again, it was all during 2020. But I don't think everything he does is funny. I could see everybody else laughing, they're chuckling, and it's just like, some of it's just not my humor. Doesn't matter. Some of the times I'm like, at least it's entertaining. Energetically, I dig it. But also, I feel like he does so well, putting facts out, standing his ground. If he makes a mistake, he goes back. Like, there's all these things that make him so good at what he does. And he doesn't need this, right? He's a comedian. He does stand up, right? But I do feel like this is bigger than him. And we'll get into that.
Magnitude of the battle that we are genuinely fighting for our country right now.
That's right. You see that? And just like that shirt that he's wearing, like I mentioned, fight like hell. That's what I'm talking about. In a world of so much sellouts, and again, the people that most people watch or like or love, I'm always the one going, like, basically, like, ruining the orgasm for my friends and whatnot. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, that guy or this girl. No, this, that. Like, I tell you the truth is the truth. Whether you like the person or not, the truth is the truth, right? And I'm like, I don't know. They're selling out. They're changing their tune. But they have all this authority. Why? They're making an agreement. Just like musicians that sell their soul with these crazy contracts. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself.
But for the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you, the viewer.
Yeah, because it's hard to be a good person. Ha! No, they're not on odds like, well, is it the truth? Do you stand for freedom or not? Do you stand for freedom of religion? Freedom of expression? So at the end of the day, they really do sell happiness. Because you cannot be happy if you're not free. You cannot be happy if you're not free. These are facts. You could be content, you could be satiated, but you will not be happy if you can't be yourself. You can't. And see, those who are censoring, those who are saying, you can't say this, you can do this, and here's the money for it, right? They're not happy. That's exactly the definition of oppression, in my view. Just bear with me with this perspective. Like control freaks, they get off on it. Miserable people, misery likes company. These are facts. So I get all the money. I use you. I suck the life out of you. Tell you what to do. That, if I'm a control freak, I'm getting turned on.
The customer.
There's no conflict. There's no at odds. It's, if I stand up for the right thing, I won't have what I have. Clout, possession, status. But like I've told you, I'm like him. I don't have to go into names. I've already done it in many of my videos. But I've pointed out every single one that I'm like, why do they have so many views? Why do they have so many subscribers? What are they bringing to the table? Even if they are entertaining, even if they're well spoken, I'm going, but look how they, like with the Kanye thing. Ugh.
What's best for you, the viewer, the customer, and more importantly, the country. We here at Mug Club, we thought that we were all in this together, that we were fighting the media, entertainment, industrial complex.
Right.
We thought that we were all genuinely taking it to big tech.
Right.
But too many of those in charge of the big conservative platforms are verifiably in bed with them.
Yes. You think? I mean, that's my point. He's got the intel that he's behind the scenes working with them, and he's been doing it. I don't have that yet. Yet, it's clear as day. It's clear as day. Because all of a sudden, when we're supposed to sound more like we're on this group or this think, right? This ideology of some sort. And I'm talking about the so-called people that are supposedly on the right. No. When it comes to their own individual beliefs, and if they're in charge, That's where it's going. So you can be free until you say something that I don't agree with. Either way, big tech is paying them. Who's big tech? Well, big tech ain't shit if nobody's watching them. Okay, I know. Oh.
Big tech is in bed with big con.
Yes, of course. And that's why I keep saying Elon is not the saint. He's not the savior.
The people you thought, the people I thought
Right.
were fighting for you.
Right. Because they talk a good game. But if you watch closely and you see how they react to people, you see what they stand for, what they go back, what they change their mind for.
A lot of it has been a big con. Now,
Of course it is. I mean, the entertainment industry has always been flooded. Like if you know, I worked at NBC. When I saw what was happening in the news or, the networks, the classic legacy media, it was all like, I pay you and you're going to do what, you're going to do whatever I want you to do. And if you have no morals, you'll do it. But if you have morals, you're fucked. And that's a fact. And thank God we've had a few whistleblowers, especially in the last few years, that have come out and said, I can't live like this. Somebody with a conscience. And that begs, like, where's everybody coming out right now defending him? Not a peep. In fact, Ruben, what's his name again? Ruben something. I think he also works at the Blaze TV. What's his name? The Rubin Report, I think, or something like that. Dave Rubin. He tweeted that, hey, because obviously if you guys have seen this video, we're going to get into in a little bit. He's going to explain some of the contract clauses that were disgusting, to say the least. And that, of course, I thought the same thing that Rubin had tweeted. And he basically said, hey, like, I don't know where he's getting at, what he's alluding. Again, don't quote me word for word. But, that's what the whole process of a negotiation, a contract. Right? Right then and there, I'm going, Ruben, I saw your colors before. But now, you just confirmed this guy doesn't even need to say names.
Now, I'm specifically avoiding naming names or going after individuals in this video. I didn't even know
he was about to say that. You see what I mean?
Because I genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are.
That's right. You know who you are. Most of them. So everybody who you're watching, who you think is so great, remember I've mentioned names, especially with the Kanye thing. I'm like, these little these losers that act like they're so special. Like Lex Friedman, MIT, right? Again, what did I tell you? Who paid a lot of money? There's a building called Bill Gates at MIT. Why? He gives all this money. He takes all the credit for what? For what? No, they all want to be a part of the club. And when they're in it, they're not going to let it go. And that's what I'm saying. Because our views mean something. You know that. And wasting our time viewing these Now. Oh, yeah.
Have a change of heart. It's never too late to do the right thing.
I agree.
Guys,
That's right.
This is a genuine plea. We can all do better.
That's right.
We can all do better. It doesn't have to be this way. And please, don't make me have to provide receipts.
That was the bomb right there. I was like, is that like a threat? But no, I feel him. And he's a Cancer. I looked up his birthday, unless they got the birthday wrong. He's a Cancer. He's emotional. Again, I don't know his ascendant, don't know his moon. There's obviously more to it. But, it's also protective. And it's also, what does a crab do? If you try to attack a crab or pick it up, what does it do? I'm being funny. Now, that's it. They're not willing. Well, what's funny for the lack of a better word, if they all actually united and say, yes, you know what? We all made some shitty contracts and we all fake it and we all bite our tongues and we all this and it's wrong. especially because I preach that I believe in rights, freedom, the Constitution, right? If they all united, they could completely own the platform. That's a fact. Because again, not to take all the views that he gets, or him and everybody else, YouTube needs it, and YouTube takes his 50%. So why is it that they don't need us? Do you see what I mean? So if half of the country disappears, gets completely off YouTube, Twitter, all of it, we boycott it all, then what happens? Well, still, they have all the money. They can still live without us. But what do you think? We can't live without them? Absolutely. Bottoms up, baby.
Now, to the others out there who have now been able to verify, have been locked into exploitative contracts that I have the luxury of not having to sign, which is why I'm doing this. Those of you out there who've been locked into this and you know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. I've got something for you before this video is done. So, a few points to address. Now, many, but not all of the suits running the business of big conservative, big con, at best don't share your values and at worst are taking advantage of your good graces. And as I've experienced it behind the scenes, I've watched our country be harmed as a result. So, Mug Club. Professionally, it's meant everything to us here. Personally, too, but professionally, you are the entire reason for our ability, your ability, to create this kind of content truly independently for the last 6 years.
Right.
When I started doing, right-leaning, like comedy entertainment videos in 2009, maybe it was 2008, I really didn't have a plan. I didn't know the blueprint because there was no blueprint. I didn't know the ceiling because no one with this kind of content had ever really even tried it. It was you, Mug Club, you watching, supporting, who created the ceiling, and you made it clear that all of you were going to keep raising it. All I knew back then was that I was a conservative, I was a Christian, and there was nothing out there for someone like me. Not on cable, not on radio, certainly not on YouTube.
Sorry.
And back then, that was really the only...
There you go with the Christianity. That's the thing. Like, I feel like when you have that moral compass, if you're true to it, you just cannot. And you'll take whatever risk it takes.
Video platform. Live streaming wasn't really even a thing. All I wanted to do was to set out to create the kind of content, the kind of show that I always wished had existed when I was growing up. And I hoped that there would be enough of you out there like me. Here's the thing. I was told that there weren't. I was told by the powers that be that you didn't exist. I was told that the only way to make a living in this...
That's the other thing I kept hearing. No, people don't want this kind of stuff. People don't want real. They literally said it over and over again. And even when I did this, YouTube channel, I got all kinds of suggestions. Do this, do that. Especially with my background as a coach and a consultant. And I'm going, there's plenty of those people out there. Feel depressed, do this. This, that, do that. I mean, I do it. But I didn't want to be another channel doing that. I do that already. That's in the background. I got my seminars. I put it out there when I'm ready to do them, when I'm ready and available. But if we can't talk freely, they're all hypocrites. How the hell are these people coming out saying, if you're stressed, do this, or if you have fear and you're blocked by this? And yet we're allowing this to happen. All of us, as citizens, as humans, as a collective consciousness. It can't. It can't. Now, it's time to stand up.
Business was to cater to older conservative generations, and that comedy, that entertainment, that edgy, quote-unquote, content didn't work on the right side of the spectrum. An entertainment show would never work. You, all of you, are the only reason that we here were even remotely vindicated. And Mug Club sealed it. I remember exactly where I was when I thought up the idea of Mug Club. I remember who I was with. I remember what I was eating. I remember why. I could
See,
see the writing on the wall back then.
And the fact that he says that tells me that he's speaking truth and that he's honest and he's really putting it out there. And I saw all these tweets and a bunch of comments, videos, all kinds of stuff where people even suggested, is this like another like op, like a psyop or an op-ed? Like everyone's like, is he controlled opposition? Enough, people, enough. Stop putting, like they say, there's an old Spanish saying that says putting 5 legs on the cat. Like you're just adding legs. The cat's got 4 legs. Done. What he's saying is legit, and we know it. Whether you're in the industry, whether you're a content creator or not.
With, I remember what I was eating. I remember why. I could see the writing on the wall back then, the big tech censorship on the horizon, the diminishing advertising revenue day by day,
right.
And I knew full well that demonetization from these platforms, it was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really
See, there's a nervousness there. So he's really trying to be careful, but also put his honest and truth because he wants to sleep at night. And when he dies, he wants to feel that he stood up. And it takes a lot of courage. So anybody out there bashing this guy? What are you bashing? You're just into the drama. You're not into truth. Period. End of story. It's very simple. Either you're free or not. And I don't care how much you can negotiate the contract. It's like Goliath. It's like David and Goliath.
sure that this would work. At that point in time, getting anyone to subscribe to anything was pretty much impossible. Everything on the internet was basically free except for pornography. Even, Netflix, the only player in the space at the time between shipping DVDs of Poltergeist 3, they were struggling with online streaming. But I found a great partnership back then, a partnership with a company called CRTV, which later purchased The Blaze and used that name going forward. And on election night, 2016, so many of you signed up that the back end of our site crashed. We couldn't handle it. And it only grew from there. Now, I want to be clear about something.
I love that he's giving all this background.
This video here, it's not about The Blaze. When they were purchased by CRTV, the company's goals, their
Of
vision.
course, people are trying to guess, like, who's he talking about, right? Even the parts that he scratches out momentarily, he'll be showing some of the contract. And there's all this blackout stuff. But it's funny because even if it were to be the Blaze TV, if he could probably most likely have an NDA agreement. And so he has to throw that out. Like, if you're thinking that, it's not. Plus, isn't that where he's working from right now? Or where he's been, right? So that was a smart move. And I think because at the end of the day, the blame game is not the point here. Even when I saw that below this video, he added, who do you think? Matter of fact, let me see. He wrote, "What is your gut telling you?" And so far, since I saw this yesterday, now there's 9,300 and something likes and like 494 replies so far. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Do you guys see? I'm scrolling up, talking about Tim. Look at Tim. Crowder is right about everything. Well, yeah. Now you go, Tim. Because again, Tim would be like, oh, this is why you should sign up, become a member, this and that, outside of YouTube. And good for him. And has his following, all this stuff. But yet, he would freak out at guests for saying the wrong thing. I remember there's one time, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or so, where he literally cut the stream off because he's freaking out. I get it. He's got a business that he's running. He's got employees that he's paying, and he doesn't want to get deleted. Well, Tim, isn't that why you built that platform and your membership completely separate and independent? Do you see what I'm saying? And then you talk like you know so much shit and you're so badass. Dude, you're shaking in your pants. And I get it. Because if you haven't had everything and then lost it all, I get it. It's a scary feeling. But you know what I mean? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, baby. So I'm wondering, how about that? Tim Cass IRL, Crowder is right about everything. I mean, he is absolutely right. That's why when people are coming up with this bullshit, theories and this and that. It's like, you're just trying to have fun, guys. You're just into the drama. You're into the gossip. It's entertainment. It's the fucking feed to the fish in the goldfish pond. I'm just saying, you get me.
Simply grew further apart from mine.
I mean, what a stand-up guy. Seriously, he's handling this.
From ours here. It just wasn't the right fit. Yeah,
Look at him, I'm telling you, he's nervous. Do you see how he's breathing, holding himself? I mean, that takes a lot of strength, discipline.
I wasn't thrilled about some things and the handling of Mug Club leaving, and that's why we launched mugclubforever.com, where you can sign up just to be able to reach you. This really isn't about that, so I want to create some separation here. Business relationships end all the time. That's business.
Right.
But I was in a period to field offers from other people, other key players in this movement. They flooded in. Now, before you guess who it is, before you start trying to do some Sherlock Holmes work, there are far more people beneath the tip of the iceberg than you know about who are trying to get into this space. There are more than you would probably assume. So I went into free agency. I looked over the offers. And I saw the clause come out. And I don't just mean unreasonable demands for control, but what I would argue are immoral terms that actually punish conservative content creators on behalf of big tech.
Yeah.
And that's something that I just couldn't unsee. And I want to let you know, it's not the...
Talk about total control, communism, tyranny, authoritarianism, or blah, blah. I mean, what? It's already bad enough that we come to the table for free and that you, the viewer, you're the one that makes us, keeps us coming back, and pays our bills. It's a fact. And that these guys are like, okay, well, I'm going to, you sign this contract and I'll give you the studio and I'll give you a crew. And yeah, it's very helpful. But at the same time, you're constantly walking on eggshells? Talk about the shittiest marriage ever. Yeah, I'll take care of you, but no.
The exception. It's the rule. Kids out there coming up.
And I like that he's giving like this PSA of kids coming up. Don't do this, man.
We need to build a bench here in this movement.
That's right.
It's almost impossible. Don't sign these contracts. I now know what you are signing out there. I have the luxury of not having to.
I'm telling you, he's hurting, man. He's hurting. He's going to make me, I'm going to cry. Don't tell me you don't feel that shit. See? And that's the other people. Everyone's like talking. Do they feel anything? Is my question. Do you feel anything?
I don't have to be here. I don't have to say this. Please, don't sign this. Certainly not without professional legal counsel representation. Do not sign something that includes, let me go through this. Effectively, full ownership of all your social media platforms, channels, in perpetuity, the rights to your content, name, image, likeness, even the ones that you've built.
Exactly.
Don't
Talk
sign
about prostitutes have a better deal than this shit. I'm not downgrading prostitutes at all. Bless them. That's not what I'm doing. But like, oh my God. It's so foul, guys. It is so foul to have somebody work for free and then completely act like you're doing them a favor with the contract. Anomaly did a piece on him also, which kind of, by the way, in a little bit, he's going to talk about like, reach out to me if you want to join and help and do whatever with this. And of course, like I already said in the beginning of this video, I immediately did it. Then Anomaly does a little piece on it too. I think it was a live stream. And Anomaly said that he reached out also. And they got right back to him because apparently the guy, whoever is getting the emails and the submissions, is actually a fan of Anomaly. And so they responded like, yeah, I'm going to do my best to get this to Crowder. And I'm like, what? And I was thinking, clearly Crowder will look at me for 2 seconds and he'll reach out. Like, we'll be in touch. But no. I haven't heard anything yet. yet. Oh, by the way, just saying, guys, if you know him, you know anybody who knows him, or if you guys would be awesome if you could tag me, comment to him, let him know if you believe in me in this. Help me get Crowder and me to join up.
Tracks out.
I'm serious. I'm laughing. I mean, I'm chuckling. Because I don't want to be like yelling at you guys like a general or anything like that. But yeah, guys, let's shake this. Let's let him know that I'm here. I'm here for him.
There.
I'm here for us, for all of us.
That include
And I will never sell out.
multi-million-dollar penalties for different. Let me read you an example of what I mean. And this would be if it was me. If Crowder fails to deliver a monthly content in any month or any of the quarterly content in the corner, including any and all ad reads, and by the way, all these contracts came with 3, 4, 5 ad reads per show, which would fundamentally change what this show is. Got to get those dollar bills.
Ooh.
If I failed to do that, it would be a $250,000 reduction in fee per quarter. If, let's say, we did do everything per quarter, but annually maybe missed something, like let's say we went and did a Change My Mind instead of a daily show, which of course requires a lot more work, it'd be a separate $1 million penalty for that if you miss a single piece of content. And the amount of content required is not in line with, frankly, it's worse than...
Who would sign such an agreement? Who? And according to his claims, people are doing it. Nobody needs money that bad. I'm sorry. This is literally selling your soul and then some.
Than Disney. It's worse than ABC. It's worse than NBC. It's worse than CBS.
Yeah, exactly.
This is ownership of you and everything that you do. But here's, just to drive it home, don't sign something that has another $100,000 daily penalty.
I don't care how much money you make. And then you got the Seltzers of the world and who else? The Coopers of the world making millions? For what? Oh, God.
If it's not signed off on.
Again, it's clear. It's clear that some people are happy because they don't have a backbone. They don't even probably have a personality.
Forehand. You get a sick.
It's all fake. I'm telling you, it's all fake. I've seen these people face to face. All fake. No backbone.
You get hit by a car, you have a sick day. You could lose $100,000 a day.
$100,000 a day. Yeah, Whoopi got what? A week off? I don't recall. Does anybody know? Did she lose any money? Her $97,000 a month? I wonder. When she doesn't show up or she's sick or anything happens, she takes off. Does she lose $100,000 a day? This is... I knew how bad this was. I'm just loving that the universe, God, love is working through. And I know he gets his strength as well. Besides God, how real true he is to his following. And I'm getting choked up because that's how I feel.
Hey, anyone wonder why there's burnout in this? Anyone wonder why?
Exactly.
You have kids come up and they leave, and never to come back? You think if you had that kind of a penalty, you think if someone said, hey, we're going to penalize you $10,000 every day you miss coming into work, you think you'd be stressed?
Unless you're pathetic and you can act a good game and you just act and you just go home going, I got all this money. I'm fine. I'm secure. I'm paying my mortgage or whatever. Let me tell you something. What part of free is banned? Has anybody thought about it? I wrote that note earlier this morning when I was meditating. What part of freedom gets banned? Has anybody ever just thought, just that simple? What part of being free and freedom of speech can be banned? I saw this clip also. somebody at the WF, I forget their name, who they were, somebody from Germany. Nothing wrong with Germany. I'm part German. But, or I got German in me. You know what I mean? So they're just like, no, this is why we have certain things that are illegal. Hate speech is illegal for a reason. Shut up. Because this is why the founding fathers here and the Constitution and we the people was written. Because who determines what is hate speech? If I say to you that, you saying an F-bomb. Oh, wait. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was losing you guys. Shit. What the hell am I doing? What am I touching that I got one ear comes out? Anyway, you get me? You get me. Just chew on that. Go down that rabbit hole for a second. And in summary, those people that are selling out, whether they're pretending to be the right or they're the majority that own and manage and other dictators, Silicon Valley, Zuckerbergs, all the names. The only way they are imposing and crushing and oppressing is because they're fucking pussies. And don't give me this shit like, don't give me this gender whatever. You know what pussy means. You're weak. The more you want to tell me what to do, anybody what to do, the more you want to take away. All you're saying loud and clear is how weak and scared you are. And you should be. You should be scared. You should be scared. Because if you can't stand up for goodness, freedom, if somebody wants to play with a car toy and someone else says, well, I want to play with a doll, regardless of the gender, whatever they want to play with. I'm just giving you a very basic PG example. And you want to say, no, you can't play with that. You're a meanie. And why are you a meanie? Well, anybody who knows about psychology, human behavior, it's because you're angry, nasty, empty, weak, bullies. You feel me on this one? Why is everybody accepting us? Well, it's a private company. They can do what they want. Really? Really? Then why would they give people incentives to make money off of this and make a living off of this? To only tell you, I am the master, and you will do and not do this. I don't even have a contract, and you guys already know what I'm dealing with. Why? Oh, they make it so easy to sign up, but then they'll crush you. Not just crush you. They'll change you, they'll delete you, they'll move you. They'll also find a way to make you look bad because you don't agree with them. Even for all those people that are so-called liberals or so-called right selling out, that's all you're telling me. Because if we don't all stand up, and that's what I liked about what he said earlier, come forth. Don't make me show receipts. I don't think that's a threat. A lot of people took it as a threat. I didn't take it as a threat at all. The truth. The truth, you little fuckers. The truth. Stand up. Stand up with all your millions of followers. All the money you've made. Stand up. Because you will live the rest of your life not taking this moment to tell the truth and to be the best that you can be, which is to defend each other. All of us content creators and all of the viewers. Without the viewers, there is no content creator. All of us need to stand up. Matter of fact, let me take that back. We don't need to stand up. We must stand up. I am standing up.
This is worse than the left frames their contracts. Again, of course I didn't sign any of these things. But I now know what other kids are signing out there. And here's the worst part. Yeah, that's terrible. I think I just think that's wrong to treat people that way. But this is where, in going through this, and I need to take some time because, look, I've always tried to be a happy warrior, and I want to go back to that. I haven't been happy for a while.
That's the part, yeah.
To be really, I haven't been happy
of course
for
not.
a while because
See,
when you know what goes on behind these scenes.
No one can
And you
be
see how many
happy.
people are complicit?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to rewind this. I have said it my whole life and for years, and I have the proof in the pudding with everyone that I worked with. Friends, even family, all of them. You cannot be happy if you are not free. If you cannot be yourself, which is free. Freedom to be yourself. You get it? There is no clauses. There is no, you could do this, but you can't do that. The moment you are not free, your happiness gets chipped away. And I appreciate, I'm sorry, Stephen, that you haven't been happy. But I feel you, sweetheart. I feel you. Because when other people want to take your happiness away, that's what happens. When they take your freedom away, they're taking your happiness away. They are. No matter how strong you are mentally. I mean, how many times can somebody kick you down and you get back up? Oh my God, I just remembered this movie that I watched, I don't know, about a year ago, based on a true story. I think it was Japan. American soldiers in a... Oh man, I wish I could remember the name. When I remember it, I'll put it in the comments below. And how this guy, like, they could not keep him down. That's rare. I mean, but I feel you. I feel you, Stephen. Makes sense.
I haven't been happy for a while. To be really, I haven't been happy for a while because when you know what goes on behind these scenes and you see how many people are complicit,
exactly,
it creates an air of hopelessness.
Exactly.
It really does.
Exactly. It's like, I'm going to give up because I don't see the win. I don't see the. But when your heart and your soul is screaming, and that's been me since childhood, I just can't help it. My mother used to call me a masochist. Why do you do things that get you punished? I'm like, I can't help it. It's the truth. And I'm being honest. Aren't we supposed to be honest? Your parents tell you one thing, be honest, but not always. Oh, okay. Where's the memo? When am I supposed to be honest? And the people would always love me for being honest, even if it got me in trouble, even if it embarrassed them. At the end, they would say to me, they would whisper in my ear when I was a kid, teenager, they would say, Olga, don't you ever change. And I'm like, I won't. But man, have I suffered all the time. But I don't care. I'll fucking suffer. I'll cry. And by the way, I just saw, thank you for the super chat, Carrie Lewis. I love the fact that it just popped up. Thank you, because I clearly could see it. And you wrote, as I'm cursing, and you wrote, oh, you're the best. More funds for the swear jar, Olga. This show is one of my favorites so far. Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. You must be a strong person there, Carrie Lewis.
Where you think the people are supposed to be linking arms and fighting with you, fighting for you, want to punish you. So here's
now, I'm sure we've all gone through that at a job, coworkers, right? At some level, maybe even your own family. You know, most of us have had that experience. You know what I mean? Where everyone's complicit and no one wants to get involved and nobody wants to tell the truth. I understand that most people don't like to go there. But it's the people that are preaching and acting like oh yeah, I'll do the right thing. Oh yeah, screw these people, screw the left, the right. That's who I'm talking about.
Do not, kids, under any circumstances, sign a contract.
Talk about hypocrite? Nah. I'm tired of even hearing that word. What a hypocrite. Oh, that's such a hypocrisy. Okay. How many times do we have to call everybody who's a hypocrite? No. I like this. Call them out. Show your face. And then let the people that want to follow you for who you really are. I don't think that's very right. It's simple.
With people who claim to be conservative.
Fair.
But will penalize you 25% for any demonetization or sponsor boycott. Look, let me read this to you. If any of the major platforms, oh no, sorry, that's the second one. Let me go back to the first one. There's another 20%. It's 45% if you get a content strike. Let's start with the demonetization.
I agree.
If blank is boycotted or dropped by more than 50% of the advertising partners, the company is not able to replace them within 90 days, the fee will be reduced by 25%. That's a sponsorship boycott. So that's saying, hey, liberals, boycotts work. They work on our guys.
Wait. I just saw a comment. The Major, as to Cheeto face and quote, Beck once actually crushed a bowl of Cheetos on camera, then plowed his face into it in a bizarre protest against Trump. It was actually pretty disturbing. Oh, shit. I'd love to see that. Ooh. Thanks for the intel, the Major.
We'll punish them for you. Let me go on. Specifically, YouTube demonetization. If any of the major platforms...
Actually, Sean Henry, I have. Yeah, Whitney Webb. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to ask her to come on my show as well. Yeah, she wrote a book about how they're all blackmailed, like the U.S. I forget the name of the book. Something blackmail. Yeah, love her, and she does. She does provide all the receipts of the current situation and how it's so corrupt. Yep, Whitney Webb. Yeah, thank you for posting that.
Platforms issues a content strike such that Crowder cannot be monetized on such platform, and the company is not able to resolve the issue within 90 days, the fee will be reduced by 25% moving forward. Now, I thought this was a mistake because, you know, these people maybe didn't know who I am, that we've been demonetized for 3 years. No, it was made very clear to me in no uncertain terms. This is what's sent out to everybody. And then if you get a strike, meaning a suspension, another 20% reduction. And then another 20% of it happens on Apple. And then another 10% of it happens on Facebook. And then another 10% of it happens on Spotify.
Dude.
Imagine you're deplatformed.
Here we go again with the Rubin.
As we've seen in the past, where all of the major entities decide to remove you in one day, rather than having a conservative alternative.
Negotiate your contract. Okay, Captain Obvious, of course. Of course you think that. But like, don't you think he's already negotiated this? Don't you think they've already brought him what their best offer is? Okay, let's say they didn't. And let's say he's literally thinking about all the content creators that don't have the intel or insight and experience that he has. And he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to negotiate this. I'm going to put it out there because it's the right thing to do. Has anybody thought about that?
You would now be down to 5 to 15% of the revenue of your contract. Think about this for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Those in charge, the big conservative, the big con, and it really is the biggest con going right now. They're making it known in their contracts.
That's right.
That they will enforce the guidelines of big tech and punish conservatives on their behalf. Don't worry, Wojcicki.
It was already obvious,
trust me,
guys.
these conservatives will stay in line. If they get demonetized, we take away 25% of their operating budget. Take another 20% away if they get a hard strike. Hey, don't worry, Zuckerberg. We've got your back.
So here's my thing. They're basically using conservatives, the so-called that are thinking that they're giving content because they're conservatives to conservatives, or just anybody that's not on the far left woke, which is who rules most of everything, right? Big tech, Silicon Valley. Just think about that for a second. So they're pretending to be something that they're not. And then they're going to pimp you out, suck the blood out of you, and act like they're doing something for you, the viewer that likes this type of content. Has anybody marinated in that one for a second?
To see you at the UFC Apex. Let me ask you, can you imagine if this show not only was never permitted to take risks per our contract as it relates to big tech guidelines, like as far as the content guidelines, right? There's content guidelines and there's advertiser guidelines. Can you imagine a world where this show could never take risks in relation to those guidelines on, say, things like mRNA injections, election integrity, take your pick. But
God.
One step further.
See, maybe I should stop it here. Should I go to Rumble? Because, I just don't want to give them the satisfaction. What do you think? If you're on Rumble, make sure to smash that like button. Let me know you stopped by even for a second. Leave an emoji. Your comments are everything. I do read them and I will respond. So, what do you think? I don't know, a little too late. He already said those 2 words. Mary Tasho, welcome. Ooh, give it to Mary. To some truth bombs, baby. Yeah. Ben Shapiro, B. Tatum, and many others sold out for the money. $signs. 4 of them. I'm telling you, I have seen them like go back, not stick up for the right thing. And I'm just like, I get it. But see, they got nothing on me. I'm not afraid. And it's not like Steven saying, give me a second. I'm like, there shouldn't be anybody in the studio. 1 second. Hello? Like, is it the cat going nuts? And actually let the cat, anyway, sorry for the distraction. I lost my thought. Hope you know where I was going with it. But yeah, like, I got it. So once you've lost everything, I mean, first of all, I did lose everything more than once because even knowing I was taking a risk, that's the term fearless means that. Of course, you don't go in thinking you're going to lose, but chances are you might lose and maybe really bad. And then it happens. But then once you've lost it all, and I mean all, mind, body, and soul, once you've lost it all, it's like, you can't buy this. Not through when I went through the shadow of the valley of death and shit, And so these people, I just wish they would stop lying. You sold out, you sell out. But stop lying. That's it. Just be honest. Very simple.
This show had to be advertiser friendly on YouTube. Those guidelines pretty much read, don't say anything offensive ever. Well, what's offensive? Whatever is stuck in Susan Wojcicki's craw that day. I wish those at the top in big conservative, with, granted, a lot of the money, wanted to do better, but they don't. That's why I've created stopbigcon.com, and you can be a signatory, and our plans therein. Look, like I've said, I have the luxury of not signing this. I don't need it. I've been demonetized for years. We've adapted here precisely because of Mug Club. The free content only exists because of those who subscribe. I've promised you we won't do more than 1 sponsorship spot per show. I will keep my word on that until this show ends. Why? Because it's designed for you. It's not designed for the sponsors.
Exactly.
If it's 4, 5, 6, 7 sponsors.
Exactly.
They're no longer the product. You're the product.
Hello?
So we've adapted here.
Again, and that also goes to the fact that we already know that, right? The big tech is listening to us on their phones, completely selling out everything you're doing to put all the advertisers in your face. Just money, 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 money. Again, with the B system. If you don't know the B system, it's the beast system. Raise your energy. If you want to be happier, if you want your life to work out better, believe me, that's the only thing that works. The truth will set you free. The oldest probably sentence in history and humanity. You can never go wrong with the truth.
Yes, we've been demonetized, and
I don't care if you get punished for it. It fulfills you in a way that no drug can give you.
Beholden to sponsors who might get boycotted, because the sponsors that we have are going to go wherever we go anyway. We know that beyond any shadow of a doubt. That's the luxury of doing business honestly and loyalty. But to the kids out there coming up who don't have that luxury, please don't sign these. You can do better. We can all do better. And the only reason at this point for me to stay and continue doing what I've been doing is to make sure that we all do. That we all do better. So to everyone out there who refuses to sign or is under the cloud of these maybe not entirely enforceable contracts, look, here's your signal. Water's warm here. I'll produce your show. We'll produce your show. If there are enough of you out there, I will transition Mug Club into a full-scale network with independent content creators who don't want to be locked into slave contracts.
That's
Look,
right.
I understand that business relationships sometimes fall through. People don't see eye to eye. I get that.
Yeah.
But there is a way to structure these contracts and
Exactly.
a network. There's a world in which contracts and a network exists.
Exactly.
Where everyone benefits.
Exactly.
With some semblance of fairness, transparency. There's no need to be enslaved like this.
No. Nope.
If you're out there right now and you're making content work, on whatever scale that may be, there are levels to this game. I understand that.
Unless you're evil.
And you'd like to have some backup.
If you're evil.
You'd like to have some brothers, sisters, Z's and arms, some security without losing your shirt. Send your email to creators@louderwithcrowder.com and we'll talk. You want a partnership? Great.
Done it.
Can
Guys,
probably work
please
something
help me
out.
let them know.
You want the security of being an employee?
Anybody got a
Probably make
connection?
that work too. There are many ways to skin this cat. And you know what? If Mug Club or whatever network it becomes isn't for you, if this isn't the right home for you, we have lawyers and representation who will negotiate your contract for you with anyone else out there.
Right.
At half the market rate.
That's right.
Why? Because I don't
It's like when I
like
say to
this.
you, when
And
I
I'm
always
going
say
to
also,
end
get a
this.
second opinion. Go to different lawyers. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because I don't like this, and I'm going to end this. We all need to end this together. I have plenty of friends. I could use a few enemies. There is strength in numbers. And if you, watching right now, if you want a network that you can truly call your own, I just ask that you enter in your email at stopbigcon.com. Entering in your email makes you a signatory. It's a statement that you want not just Mug Club, but you want a network that does better. So it's either time for
We have the power to make them
Mug
give
Club
us
to go
what we
big, or
want,
it's time for me to go home.
not what they want us to have.
I can't change this all by myself.
That's right.
I really can't. And
You're
frankly,
not by yourself, Steven.
swimming upstream with just this one show, it's a futile endeavor.
I know.
So either Mug Club grows and you start setting the standard for this movement, we right this ship, or you know what, I'll go back to doing maybe occasional videos, stand up. I don't need to do this. It's that simple. My life would be less complicated.
Right.
I just want you to
won't be
think
as
about this for a
fulfilled.
second. There's a reason that if you felt this way, let me put it this way, and I've heard feedback from you. If you feel in your gut that a lot of conservative content out there feels homogenous, feels sanitized, feels like they're missing some key points, there's a reason for that. There's a reason that you often find yourself asking, hey, I wonder why X won't talk about Y.
Yup.
And I now know any contract that I would have signed would have turned this into yet another softer radio show on video, littered with live reads for every.
You see what he just said? There's a reason why they don't put certain content out. I can tell you right now, gut feeling, that it's happened to him. That he's wanted to put content out and he wasn't allowed to because of his contract, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's why he's saying it. Because he's done it himself.
Every sponsor that could be crammed into every single episode possible.
And then I know he probably went home going, God, I really wanted to break that story. I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to do that. And he couldn't. And that is why, one of the reasons, if not maybe even the biggest chunk of it, of his unhappiness, is that. Because you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, why didn't I? Why didn't I? Oh, because they wouldn't let me. Were you an adult? You had the choice and you didn't. Granted, you can't break a contract. But see what I'm saying? So, actually, Steven, this is the best thing that ever happened to you.
Avoided the sketches, the change my mind type segments, the spontaneity, the levity.
And to all of us, too.
That's made this show exactly what it is. Oh, and by the way, I was told would never work by the same powers that be. And the real reason the stakes are so high for us here, but me specifically, look, either I'm a break glass in case of emergency candidate here, just to start a network and to actually start helping people out there who don't enjoy the same luxuries that we do of being independent. Either that's my role moving forward, or this isn't for me.
Okay, Tanya.
And here's the thing. All at once, it kind of hit me And I had to take some time, I hope you understand, to really pray and contemplate this. And it hit me. After all of these years, even after all this time, after all of you have voted with your dollar and your viewership and your support, you've shown what's possible in supporting this, the largest show in the conservative movement, bar none, just to be clear. And I don't often advertise that. I don't lead my show with that. I want the content to speak for itself.
That's right.
But I also realize that you need to understand you're a part of something bigger than maybe you realize. It's the biggest show in the movement, bar none. The last election night on Rumble, bigger numbers than any mainstream show on YouTube. That's significant. Right, that's you. Now, while I'm grateful and humble, false humility doesn't, it does you a disservice.
Way back in the day.
But even after all this time, after all of you have voted with your dollar, with your viewership, with your support, after you've set records, it wasn't, and it's not, I should say in the present tense, it's not that the suits in charge of these places, Big Con, and these sites, these media companies, it's not that they still believe that this show can't work. It's not that they any longer believe that you don't exist. Those at the top, those pulling the strings in Big Con, are bothered precisely by the fact that you do.
That's right.
They don't want a group of rebellious rabble-rousers.
No.
Who want to learn, fight like hell, and laugh together.
Yeah, obey, sheeple.
You're of no value if you can't all be kept in line to some degree. I don't mean some master plan to eliminate you. Just subdue you a little bit. Just soften your edges a little bit. Just play ball a little more. So we can keep our content all monetized. And keep having cocktails with those in charge of big tech. They want you to do that. And they're forcing many of the people you watch to do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm willing to bet that most of you watching right now can't do that. But okay, you know what? No. Let me rephrase. Of course I could. Of course I could do that.
Right.
I won't. I won't do that.
See?
And I'm willing to bet that most of you won't either. Let me know just how many of you won't. Enter in your email at StopBigCon.
He believes that he cannot be the only one this way.
.com. Now, I just need some time to figure out how to do this.
True. Mathematically, it's impossibility that he's a very small group. He's a big group. I'll even take it as far as to say that even the weak want to be like this. We all have it in us.
The requirement for infrastructure is light years beyond what we would need for just this show. Some time to solve this puzzle as to how I can best and most efficiently accommodate you. And hopefully some time to restore my faith in a movement which frankly has been shaken by some, not all. There are a lot of good people in this movement,
That's awesome.
but some really bad actors among us. And rather than throw anyone under the bus.
Hey, you're growing up. You're growing up there, Steven. Yeah. You know how they say you're lucky if you have 5 friends, right? Or even one good friend by the time you die, if you live long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Or continue this long, drawn-out drama playing out in the public square. I'd rather focus on how to serve you, the only people who truly matter in this movement and to this company, and I would say to the future of this country, you, the average American who's watching, not the person who's creating the content and framing the contracts, you, right now, at home, in your car, in your truck, wherever you are. Hands on the wheel. So in the interim, as I figure this out, pardon my dust, I'll still be on my social media pages. The silence is over now. I know I've been sort of gone to radio silence. I'll still be doing stand-up shows that you can always check out at louderwithcrowder.com/tour. I'll actually probably do some more of those. I think I'm in Kentucky February 10th. You can go and check it out. I may even upload the occasional video. I don't know. Also, you know, I don't really do a lot of press. The last time I did it was, I think, the Vox Apocalypse, because I just do this show. And for the first time in a while, I'll make myself available. I'll talk about this. So anyone who wants to learn more, anyone who has the balls to talk about this, isn't afraid from the backlash of maybe not getting the guests from the people who want to try and pinch us, you can send an email to media@louderwithcrowder.com and send in your inquiries here. I'll make myself available to talk about this. Now, if we are going to keep doing this, we need to do it right. And I need to do this in a way that does right by you, because you are the future of this country. You are the catalyst for change, not some major media company, not some guy in a boardroom figuring out ways to sell you more reverse mortgages, gold, or fucking pocket catheters. It's you. It's always been you. Those in Big Con would do well to not lose sight of that. So I want to be clear. Make no mistake. The liberals out there foaming at the mouth, this is not me turning against conservatism or an incident of friendly fire at all. Everything that I've ever stood for, I'm standing for now. It's precisely because I believe what I say that I'm doing this. And by the way, too many of these people aren't our friends. So this is the last call to those conservative businesses in on the Big Con. You have a chance. Join me in making this right. You know you've lost your way. It's never too late to correct the course. We can all work together and fix this. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. There's no reason that it is this way.
That's right.
I don't know why. I've tried to get an answer. I don't understand it. It doesn't have to be this way. Let's all reset and do it right. And if not, hey, I'll do it without you.
That's right.
And Mug Club is coming for
as long as we have air in our lungs. I said it to my father when my parents got divorced after 45 years of marriage. Can you imagine? 6 kids. And my dad was like falling apart. And I was like, Dad, don't you give up on life, right? I go, as long as you have air in your lungs, it works.
Viewers and the talent. Now, to everyone else, everyone who's watched, listened, paid attention in any way, either right now or throughout the years, I just ask that you join me in letting them know that there are far more of us, far more of you than of them. Demand change, demand better, be a signatory. That's what this is. It's not just entering in your email. It's letting these people know at Big Con that you want something different, that you require better. Right. Because you know what? I am going to march into these people's offices, these nameless, faceless people's offices, with your declaration and the number of you who exist. Those in Big Con are personally going to know just how many of you are equally pissed. You and the number of you out there are officially going to be their report card.
And not only that no one signs up. Moving forward. If everyone's like, oh, wait, I learned something here. Wait, no. What are they going to do with no content creators? Because they're not hiring people to be content creators because they already did that, right? With legacy media. Look where it got them.
Not a handful of old money billionaires, not career, political, and nonprofit lobbyists. You're a signatory. This is their report card. And all of you are the reckoning. And if enough of you draft me, fine. I'll be your instrument. Otherwise, what are we doing here? StopBigCon.com. Please enter in your email. Comment below. Hit the like, all of that, because it helps the algorithm. And you make sure that they see this. And stay tuned. It's probably going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride.
Oh, man, I get choked up when he said that. Oof. Bless you and thank you for doing that and sharing that, Steven Crowder. Wow, you see? I don't know if you can see. You want to see me cry, but I'm like, again, I'm trying to be lighthearted because I already get myself enough worked up on my own. Let me see who's still with me. And I don't know. I didn't realize I was going to take this long. I don't know if you guys want to continue the conversation on Rumble or I do my quick break and I come back and I do the reaction video of the day. Let's see. What do you guys have to say in the comments? What did I miss? Oh, you should say, piss off, YouTube. Oh, man. I wish I would have read that. Ooh, maybe I'll show. So when I end this live in his honor, I'm going to be like, piss off, YouTube. That's so true. I used to love that. But of course, I don't have that little guy. The little, what is the TV pissing on the mug? No, the mug was pissing on the TV. So good. I love that. Yeah, isn't it nice to listen to someone speaking from the heart and not from a teleprompter? Yes, exactly. I'm telling you, I don't care how jaded you are as a human, how young, dumb, sheeple, whatever, you feel it because you're human and you like it whether you like the guy or not. The Major, about to head out. Have to get started on my weekly article. I got you. I feel you. We'll see you. Say, hey, BT325. Thank you for the wave emoji. Olga, do you think there are any ties with Steven's story and Dr. Shiva's? MM, I swear we're so connected. Wait. I mean, there's a couple ways I could take that. But right when that part when he said, you know, there's things that a lot of us want to do and talk about and say, report, and we can't. He didn't say those exact words, but that's that moment that I stopped it and I said, he's talking about this is what's happening, and he knows because he's in the background. He also basically said him too. And I think Dr. Shiva did reach out to him, and he wasn't allowed to report on it. And I think Dr. Shiva would have logically, fairly think that Steven Crowder was a wuss or a sellout, another sellout that didn't want to do it. And I think this is Steven's way of coming clean with that. Is that what you're referring to, MM? But there's definitely ties. Absolutely, there's definitely a tie between Shiva and Steven. Sure, absolutely. And I thought about him many times. Mary Tasha, done and done. What do you mean done and done? What did I miss? YouTube. I like the way you wrote that. A dollar mark. Ho. Asshole. Yes. Yeah. MM. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, Carrie Lewis, you entered your email too to stop BigCon. That's awesome. Yeah, like seriously, I'm going to get all my friends involved. Everyone that I know, I'm going to be like, listen, whether you like this guy or not, like he's saying to have the receipt to show big tech. But the thing is that I already know that big tech knows what we want. They've known it for decades. It just doesn't matter. It's not about freedom. It's not about us. It's not even just about money. It's the fact that it's already rigged. We got it all. I mean, hello, GameStop, anyone? GameStop? I mean, we already knew it was rigged, but then again, so we got the receipts now with Twitter file. Now we got the receipts. We had the receipts with GameStop. What's changed? It's still rigged. Then after GameStop, well, not GameStop, obviously GameStop and Robinhood app. Remember that? So it's all rigged. If we knew that we had never had any hope for any change or any real defense and freedom, protection, prosperity, and if you knew that, like, say, for example, going to any store, major store like Walmart, Target, whatever, okay? I'm not trying to single anybody out here. Big core. If no one ever shopped there, they would have to close down. Their stocks would go down. Why do we act like we don't have a choice when we do? It might be an inconvenience, but then we'll find our own. We set up our own systems to get what we need. It's that simple. Believe it or not, it's that simple. It really is that simple. Telling you. I know it's not easy, but it's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And if all of us did a little bit here, a little bit there, trust me, it all makes a difference. If it didn't make a difference, then why during 2020, when they locked everybody down, half of the businesses went out of business, went in debt? I mean, no one's even reported on anybody's life in a good hot minute and where they're at right now, thanks to our amazing, greedy ass government. It's so funny, right? We're all talking about we pay them, but the word government means they govern us. So we're paying somebody, again, a pimp, another pimp. Another pimp. They're all pimps. I know. Don't get depressed. Don't get depressed. Because my whole thing is, as long as you know the truth, you know what I'm saying? Then you're no longer like, oh. I mean, because I didn't set up the system. Most of us didn't set up, that are here, didn't set up the system. But just we keep participating, so we keep like, I already know these assholes are it's all gonna collapse again. They're just, it is what it is. They're idiots. They might have all the power, but it won't work. We'll have a little rough ride, a really rough ride, but the future is bright because of it. Oh shit, Mary Tasha, you entered your email as well? Yeah, follow him on Mug Club. All right. Oops. So guess what? I got to take a break. I was just going to go to Rumble. We can go like full tard over there. But I need to take a break. Especially because I went way longer than I usually do. Not that I don't want to. Guys, I would do my lives a lot longer, but it's, sometimes obviously conflict of schedule and whatnot. At least I'm showing up at the same time and at least for an hour. I've been doing that. You guys can depend on that. But yeah, I mean, I would do 2 to 3 hours. That's the other reason why I want to do locals, after this and that. But you already guys know about that situation. Oh, and I did say that, keep your eyes out for the members. We'll be getting a notification. We will be having our own members only, supporters only live stream, behind the scenes, all that. But yeah, this just kind of threw me. And what do you guys say? You ready for the reaction? It's Wednesday. I have to do it. Wednesdays are the official day for a reaction. And wait, let me double check. I'll screen share so you guys can see it. Let's see. I'm going to refresh the page. Let's see what the, let's see. What's the score right now? All right. 68% Tom McDonald Church. The votes have been in. I'm going to take a quick break. Hope you guys can join me because it's nothing like having you guys with me live, doing a real live reaction. I don't think Steven is a grifter for sure. No. But I did feel like he was not delivering what I know he could deliver. And the question was, is he also a sellout? And this video to me is proof that he wasn't. And that he just had a contract, an employer to abide by. And he had the choice to get out, just like they all can. And he did. It always takes one. Oh, Tanya Gray's like, what reaction are you doing? Did you just see? I just screen shared. It's going to be Tom McDonald Church. Well, I mean, I don't have to because I could always just do that Friday. And I can just pick one out of the hat today. I don't know, because even the people that I chose, Tom McDonald, Mises, Dax, I was just mixing them up, have more of a variety because I didn't want to keep doing too much of the same artist and get you guys sick of it. Of course, I had some people leave some comments. In fact, let me read them now. I've got comments of people saying, Church, wait, is an amazing song. You're going to love it. Okay, that's good to know. Tanya Brown, looks like you're doing NF. Not for now, Tanya, because Tom's got more votes. Mary Tasho, I love Tom in caps and Upchurch. Right. I was thinking people were going to do more Upchurch. But I say, let's give these other independent artists a chance to shine. Thank you, Mary! Exclamation. Mises. Robert Stein wrote, Church. Creek Squad. And then Jimmy Halloran, I think is that how you say it, says Fallen in Reverse. I'll get to it. I'm putting everything you guys tell me. I put it on the list, and then I cast the vote. And you guys tell me from there. Thank you for the comments, guys. All right. No, seriously. If I'm going to do a reaction, I think we've said it all. Rumble. I mean, he already said a couple words that are going to get me probably flagged. Of course, I'll keep you posted. And again, if I disappear on YouTube, you know where to find me, Rumble. If not, sign up to Locals. That's the best way for us to never lose touch. Because while I'm alive, I'll be showing up. So I'm going to, with much love, end this broadcast to take a quick break. And I'm coming right back. And I'm doing Tom McDonald Church. You ready? Are you in the mood? All right, I'll be back because the longer it take to get off now, the longer it's going to take me to come back. 5 times August. What, is that an artist? MM? Make sure you leave that comment under the video later on so I don't miss it. Yeah, Mary Tasha, we the people band together. That's what they fear the most. Yes, and thank you for saying it. We can't say it enough. Tanya Gray says, do it! In caps. Love you. All right, I'm coming right back. See you soon. Much love. Stay tuned. 10 minutes. Around. Okay? Love you. Much love. Many blessings. See you in a minute. And if not, I'll see you Friday. No. Also tomorrow, Coffee Talk, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be right back.